Oh, yeah.
Hello. वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग अब चालू कर दी। You?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for sparing your time for this project. And uh, first of all, I will just give a brief introduction that what we are trying to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are we are at Mohawk College. We are over the past 4 years there has been some big challenges because of teacher strike, COVID, and everything, which we are switching from the new online system that was called as Canvas, and all of this has been made it hard for teachers to teach and students to learn. So here in our goal is to make it better and make it simple and organized in such a way that the students as well as teachers can easily understand the platform, and there's everything is clear in terms of the instruction and assignments.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would need your valuable inputs in this actually, and your expertise as so first of all, I would like to ask you, would you be able to tell us something about your experience and background and expertise?
You want to know about my experience and my background, or
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
want to know my experience with something particular?
yeah, related to this project that we are currently doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Clearly, we just want to know, like, in what colleges or on what kind of uh, platforms like My Canvas have you worked on specifically?
Have you
so
worked in similar things or not?
I have worked in My Canvas, and I worked with the learning management system that existed before My Canvas. I don't remember what it was called, but these are the two ones that I have worked with. Um, Let me find out what was it called.
Uh, any such system beyond Mohawk?
Beyond Mohawk for a learning management system that I have used, I don't think so. This is the only one that I have been using.
Oh, so this is the first time you are been working in the learning metrics things for the college education sector, basically.
I have worked in the sector before, but I haven't worked with um anything that has a learning management system. We do have resources, but we use resources or whatever that would be for the courses would be on something as simple as a Google Drive or something that has OneDrive or any drive. It's not really been on a management system. Um,
Okay, understood.
yeah.
And for this LMS at Mohawk, could you please give some insights? Like, how do you design your course at My Canvas?
So in terms of designing the course, whatever has been, um, there's not much of a change that I do because as a part-time faculty, there's not enough time in a day to be able to make a lot of changes. So whatever tabs are available on my Canvas in terms of like the assignments and the projects, I do that. It is very time consuming to change the structure of the models, but because you need to use HTML to be able to do that, but we do use um, HTML on a day-to-day basis and try to change the way each and every module looks or what the grades page or what the assignments page would look like. But everything that's on the home page, everything that's on people pages, or everything that is on, I mean, the rubrics is also decided by me, but anything else is just left as is the way the college provides. So that's not something that I have changed, or there's no like a visual, um, what do you say, like a table or anything that I would change. The UI just remains the same.
Okay.
It's like while onboarding, there is no specific training or procedure being taught by the teachers or the team to like the teachers, the foreign teachers. It's just the same for.
So yeah, it's there is no training resource or anything that is provided,
Mhm.
and whatever every other course looks like in terms of assignments and modules, it's exactly the same way that it would look like for the careers course. Second, it's a hybrid course, so there's not much of a change that's required there. Thirdly, whatever changes that have been done in the assignment section and the module sections are regularly discussed in the class, so there's nothing that needs to like go out newly distributed to the students to be able to tell them that this is a change that is happening, right? So yeah.
So there is no format or no SOPs that is designed like you have to be make your course every in a proper format, or it's just on you like how you can do as per your need and as per your convenience. Is it like that?
Um, that's right. It's not, there's no like, no one has given any instructions to us on how to do it. It's up to you on how you choose you want to do it.
So it depends on the teacher's preference that how it would be convenient for them to like use, and so they design by themselves. Okay.
That's right. And then also there's no, like I said, there's not much designing that's done. There's only a lot of like uploading the right kind of content. So because of part-time faculty would not have the time to design something or change something, they just really focus on the content that they have to work on.
So one thing I would like to know is like, for example, if we open your course, there are some kind of like specific folders. For example, the assignment folder in which we can find the assignments, the quizzes, and everything. But in the other courses, like we do not find the same folder. So are you making those, or like they have been provided to you by the Mohawk, or like, yeah.
Um, I think I wouldn't have made those, and the reason being is also because sometimes a course is just designed that way, and maybe it looks different to you on on the other courses because maybe like I said, the professor has the ability to change or add or whatever. Nobody has given them any kind of instructions, so whatever you see on my course's homepage, that is decided by me, and maybe it's just like that because I've never even changed anything. So I've only tried to change the content there.
Well, designing this thing, so do you consider any competitors like from any other colleges that this college has like this format and this structure? Do you also consider that while designing your?
Yeah. So, like for example, when I'm doing my research on if how I'm designing my course, I would talk to I have spoken to professors from Seneca, or I've spoken to professors from Conestoga, and I would ask them how are they trying to like improve their course better, what is it that they're doing that the students like more. So those kind of changes I would try to put together in the modules that I've done. For example, we used to have informational interviews just for the BAs as a part of the networking program. But this year, I made it that it's not just about interviewing the BAs, it's about networking, and it can be done through networking events and things like that too. So the structure for that was changed. And one of those ideas came from my research by talking to other professors. So I think those kind of things I would definitely like, from whatever is there for my content, I would definitely talk to other people and then make changes accordingly.
So do you consider students as well?
Exactly. So when I do the research, it has, when I discuss with the people from other universities and what they are doing and how they're doing it and everything, I would ask them that, is this an approach that has worked well for your students? And how many number of students have actually failed this course? If they have failed, what was the reason why they failed, and what was the feedback that they gave, and why is it that you are choosing this? And I would also share what I have, and they would also give me feedback on these things can be redundant, or these things cannot work for the students best, or things like that. So yeah, this whatever modules we are doing, it is for the students. So the main point of touch that we want to do is get through the students. It's not for us, right? So we are thinking about the students and only students. That's the focus of why we are designing these modules.
Okay.
Before doing that, do you also like consider the other teachers' perspective? Like you talk to them or coordinate with them that yeah, this should be the structure, or like yeah, you talk to the other teachers as well as like
So I don't talk to the other teachers. I only talk to the program coordinator.
okay.
So there probably, if there's like a new idea that I'm bringing in, like for example, this time the networking things was changed and there was like 2 or 3 different events that were held. For those things like that, even if I talk to the program coordinator, that's enough. The program coordinator can then talk to the dean. There are times when the dean would like to have a conversation with me and ask me something about it, so then we would have a conversation like that as well. But the communication is basically done between the program coordinator and then their manager, and that's how it's done. It's not done with professors from other courses. The only time we meet professors from other courses is when we're trying to submit grades for final grades for the students.
Yeah, from this point of view, I just wanted to understand that while you try to put the assignments or in quiz, what difficulties do you face? Any difficulties, or it's easily been done in the system?
Like
I think,
yeah,
what do you mean? Can you elaborate that when you
like
say?
for example, we have had a discussion with Professor Lisa, and she told while we are putting a quiz, it's very difficult and the complex process. So are there any such kind of difficulties are you facing? Like
Had you
Um,
faced anything?
So maybe I haven't faced that difficulty because I don't have a quiz, but I can
Right.
understand that's a very difficult and a tedious process because, like I said, everything on my canvas is like a broken link.
Mhm.
One thing will work and the other thing doesn't work, and if something doesn't work, you have to go to 5 different places to change it. So, um, like for example, the files that you have, if you look at the course, for example, the work. Course that we have, there's a home page for that work course that everybody has, and you can see client presentation and program wrap up, document analysis and kickoff, and everything that basically needs to be done, right? The number of people that are involved in this are all the students that are in the faculty facilitated program, but the there is no like, there's no access to files through the normal page. You have to go to people, and then from people you'll probably click on the 3 dots, and then when you go there, there is like files there, and there's a separate announcement section which is there. But as soon as you click on the home page, at least for me, that's not how it looks like, right? So instead of having like a same flow and I'm trying to do everything in the same place, it's happening in 2 different spaces, which just makes it more complicated. Because when I, yes, you get a notification when I upload a announcement or something, but because of this change, I have to probably go in and add Zoom meetings like every time when I post an announcement. Otherwise, if everything is on the home page, students can just go on Zoom and start the meeting, and every time the link is different. So um, that's also
okay,
something that
so
can be. different.
So,
Yeah.
so while onboarding, you haven't given any kind of training or like a perfect SOP how to do the things, or the videos how the things are gonna go in the canvas,
I
or
think the only SOP that I have is when I meet the students in the class, I show them on my canvas that this is where this is, and this is where you'll be able to find the information that you're looking for, and that's pretty much it. There's no written document or anything like that.
okay, and okay, and if like if we are improving it and we are making something, would you like to have that for you, the SOP for you, like for designing the course in the video format or on the the document base? How would you feel it to be easy?
So what would you be presenting to me? Like, what are you?
Like how for the working of the my canvas, basically how to do the things, how to like in what folder what you should be putting, and how you are dealing with the announcements and everything.
Correct. I don't think I'm clear on the question you're asking.
Okay, what I mean by this is like suppose we are creating a complete format, like how one faculty should use a my canvas for different purposes, like, right?
Correct.
So, yeah, so how would you like to have it? Like, would you prefer seeing a video on it, or would you prefer the instructions to be on paper based or something like that?
I think a screen video of how to go through it would be very nice. And I think along with the video and instruction is also helpful because sometimes some things cannot be like done in just, you know, a video. Sometimes even a written instruction is better. That way it's easier to circulate it. Maybe a video might not be easier to circulate because of the amount of space it takes up. So I think written and video would be helpful.
Yeah, and you don't receive any such kind of things earlier, right? They are not there.
No, they're not there.
Okay, and
I just have a question. Like,
mhm.
some teachers like do they in the assignments they tell that you have to record your video while submitting some assignments, and then you have to go to the YouTube or any other material, and then you have to upload a link. So I have while analyzing, I have understood that there is already a platform where you can in our Canvas that my media course media you can like upload in the course media and give your link to you can share the link easily, but I don't understand why the teachers go toward the other link because it breaches our privacy as well as and yeah, we have to make the YouTube video to like private. Sorry, we have to public that video. Plus, then we have to share it. So it's easier for us to like do it in our canvas rather than going outside our academic. So, what
Yeah,
are
I
your
think
points of view?
that's a really good approach. The one thing that I will also say is every time I have to upload a class meeting, there are
Mhm.
different ways of which that I can upload, and every time I have asked another professor on how to do it, there have been like so many different ways through which everyone has told me. So if there is a way or if there's an SOP through which we can instruct all um you know faculties members to do the same thing, that would be helpful.
Yeah, there is a proper course media. If you go to a course media, you can easily upload your video and easily share a link, and that stays in a college database, not like goes any other way.
Okay, yeah, I think that would be very helpful.
Okay,
Right.
as you have told earlier, like it's sometimes it's very difficult, the one thing works in the my canvas and the other thing doesn't. So in such situations, if you are connecting with an IT or an expert, so how like uh, how easily can you do that, or there is no provision to ask someone, an expert, or they are not providing or anything?
I think it's not easy to do it. You need to be able to reach out to the right person who can direct you to the right thing space. So usually, if I have any troubles, I reach out to the administrative office of the dean's office. So then they direct me to whoever will have like tech support available if I have some concerns or problems going on. That's the usual route that we all go through, but maybe there is some resource on my Mohawk that other faculties could be using, but I have never used it. And I think just sending an email to the administrative team in the dean office, and they direct me to the right person, and usually people in Mohawk like respond via emails very quickly. So I have not had the need to like go anywhere else to find or troubleshoot whatever I've had to troubleshoot so far.
Okay. So there is no
With your
exact.
expertise in here,
Mhm.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt
yeah,
you.
yeah, go ahead.
With your expertise in like working in this business analyst course, what do you think is the biggest problem that you have faced, or you have been encountered with students and the teachers have?
Biggest problem that I have probably encountered.
Yeah, like while using Canvas or everything, like navigating into our website.
I think the students. I'm just kidding. But having that kind of, I think one of the problems is also accountability. There's a lot of resources that a lot of students have. Maybe some student knows 10 things, some student knows 5 things, some knows like 6 things, right? And that's just normally how the world works. But to be able to get that information from everyone and communicate with the people around you, which a lot of students don't do, they wouldn't ask someone, or they would just like keep it to themselves, and they won't like talk about it until the grade is actually out or something like that. So I think the one thing I really find very strange is having the right kind of communication between your peers, right? um, if there is something wrong in my canvas, or if there's something that's not working but it's working for 10 people, 20 people are not able to access it, then the 10 people should be able to help the other 20 people and tell them that, hey, this is how this is done. A professor shouldn't be able to intervene. So I think the approach of peer learning that I have seen change over time is very different, because when I was in Mohawk as a student, um, our group did not find any concerns like that. The 2 batches after I started working there, that group also didn't have problems like that. But lately, all the groups that I have been teaching, because maybe it's virtual or I don't know what it is, there is no clear communication between the students and the peer learning. If peer learning was like 6 or 7 out of 10 back in the day, right now it's like maybe 4 or 5 out of 10. So I think peer learning and awareness and communication between the peers has become much more less than it should be. And also giving the awareness to the students that the professors are here to be able to help you, and even if they don't want to help you, it is their job and it is their responsibility and it's their accountability to be able to help you. So being aware about that before they move on to like not being able to perform the way they should be performing. So that would be my take on it.
Yeah, even I think that while there should be like teaching from the induction point of view. At the time of induction, you should be given a proper uh, tour of the working of the canvas, as well as if you would not able to do that, there should be a module or a video that can be easily understood. Like this is even like we spent like 8 months in here in Moa. We were not aware about some of the things that we have aware about, like working on this project as well.
Correct.
Yeah. So there is lack of awareness amongst students, and communication the gap between the student as well as teachers, I think. And I think more of the students are not wanted to get more involved in the course. They are like yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, I agreed to that.
So with your experience, would you be able to suggest us some things that would we can try to implement in the SOP that would make easier for students as well as teachers to communicate with them within like assignments and understand their courses material and everything? You can try
I
to
think
implement some
having
things.
like a common portal where there is information for everyone that is available within, the information is available for um, students in a way that, even the student is able to access it. and even the faculty is able to access it, or some kind of forum where everybody is like talking to each other. So um, I think that is a really good way of like having one line of communication between all the faculties and all the students. So something that can be able to do that is that would be helpful, because I think, was it this course? I think it was this course, that this batch itself that I taught, that they had three different things going on in the same day, and there was the same assignment, that or a class or a networking event also that they had to attend. um, that was not clear between other students and other faculties, and I had to intervene and message the professor and tell them that, hey, can you probably not keep your test, or can you not keep your class today? So that information was not available to me from everyone. It just comes from one student who actually speaks up. If that student wouldn't speak up, I wouldn't know about it, right? So if there is a forum where all students can discuss about this, and when they're discussing, the faculty also looks at it, and then there's a way the faculties can come to a common ground where everyone in the course has the right kind of understanding. Like, think even timetable. I never know what is your next class or what's the class before or after. I come to my class and I always ask, oh, so do you have a class after this, or did you have a class before this? So I'm not aware about that as well. So I think information sharing has to become more central, and there has to be a forum to be able to discuss with the community that you existingly have within the BA program. And not every comment or everything has to be visible to everyone. I think there could be restrictions, but you have the announcements page, we have the discussions page.
Right.
Why are
Yeah.
we not using it? People don't use it.
No one used that.
Yeah. So, but we
Hardly.
have the tool, right?
We have the tools, but there is lack of awareness, and as well as like people are afraid. I don't know what they're in their mind,
Yeah,
why they
I
don't
think so.
use that.
Maybe the SOP can have something like that. It's mandatory to discuss things there, so everyone's aware about it. And if it's a discussion that's being done between two people, it's uploaded. Other person wants
Yes.
to find out about it. They can look at it at their own time. They can access it at their own time. They can ask their own questions, and everybody needs to be involved. So I think um, also giving clear instructions to faculty is important, but as much as it's also important to give those clear instructions to the students to be able to follow and make them understand and trust that there is a lot of resources and a lot of people that are here to help. Yes, it's not obvious that 10 out of 10 people would help you, but I'm sure there is like two or three people at least in Mohawk who are useful, that can get you what you want.
I think a discussion board is like you have to log in and you have to do and get there. It's hard. It's complicated actually. It should be there in it should be like our WhatsApp app. Like we create a group and we discuss the things within
Right.
the college, that stays within the college and everything in curriculum. So it would be easier for them to navigate. I think like going to the canvas and doing the things. It's hard actually, and no one wanted to be that do that take extra struggle to like do the things.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
from here, I would like to ask you one more thing. Last thing, it's so like while adopting to the SOP, like what obstacles or challenges do a new teacher, no, sorry, a teacher faces while adapting to the SOP, new SOPs or for their course content and navigation and everything? Do you think would be there any difficulties for them, or they can easily adopt that thing?
I think there shouldn't be any difficulty to be able to like do that. There will be difficulty because anything that you try to have like a new understanding or a new format
Right.
or something that is newly done, there's always going to be questions from the students as to why we are doing this, what's the reason. So that's why even when I tell you that you write a recommendation, you give your whys on why you're doing something, that is like very important. So uh, the only concern that would be is to be able to share it with the students the right way. So the right kind of communication language has to be transitioned to the student. One, second, I don't think it's a very complicated process. If a faculty has to like uh, distribute an SOP or share an SOP in the first class, I think that's something really good, that reduces their work instead of increasing it. It just increases the number of questions, but I think that is normal for anything new that you would introduce. So that's just known. So having like a outline of how you're going to introduce your course, having an outline, having an SOP, having a video for all of that would just make tasks so much more simpler.
Don't you think that, like, if, from the teacher's point of view, like if you're working from like 4 years in a normal in a previous SOP and you introduce a new SOP, that it would take some time to adopt for teachers as well as to the system and to the SOP?
That's fine. I think it's okay if it takes some time to adapt, but that's the part of the job, right? And change
Mhm.
always happens, right? You
Mhm.
cannot keep using the same technology over and over again. And we change a lot of stuff in our modules every semester. So I think there is a lot of change already happening. So change management should be something that is accounted for. It's not something to run away from. And this is actually making things more efficient and effective. So I think that would be a good way to like do it. You don't have to like it shouldn't be a problem. At least that's my feedback on it. I don't know what the other professors, what would their take be on that.
Okay. So, Arsh, do you have any questions, please?
Yeah, please ask the questions that we have from the other team.
Yeah, wait, I have some questions that from the other team, that is Kedarman and Yash. They have asked me to ask you some questions that they have sent me. First question is that as a part-time faculty, how challenging is to align your expectation and program expectation in designing the course structure on my canvas?
Honestly, I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat it?
As a part-time faculty,
How
how
challenging is
challenging
it to do what?
as a part-time faculty, how challenging is to align your expectation and program expectation in designing a course structure on my canvas? Means your expectation and the course expectation, combining them and doing it on my canvas.
It's not very challenging. It's really up to the professor to do it. So not challenging would be the answer.
Okay. And the second question is, what according to you can help standardize the current course design and structure related to issues?
I think I gave you a recommendation on that already. So an additional recommendation or a point to that would also be that try to use the existing features as much as we can instead of trying to introduce something. We have so many features that are not being used efficiently, so just
No.
using that.
And the third is, what are the top three things that you would want to have in each course design?
The three things that I would want to have in each and every course, I think, again, the common view for the faculty and the students, no matter which course they go to, they have a common view of where they are and what this course looks like for them.
Mhm.
Also having like a common dashboard for the student where the
Right.
student can actually see that this is how I'm performing in strategy, this is how I'm performing in the requirements analysis. So maybe like a dashboard for something like that. And then the third thing, obviously, I said the discussions forums, and also like maybe a common page for assignments where they can see all their upcoming assignments in like a calendar format instead of having to go to each and every course. I don't know if you still have it, but that would be a recommendation.
You can see like in a calendar what assignments are due and it we have a type to-do list.
Okay, you have a
Okay.
to-do list. Okay.
Yeah. So fourth question is, have you ever tried to provide ideas to improve the course design or structure for the BA program?
Yes, I have. And I've made changes to the modules as well. Like I said, it happens every semester. There's always some or the other change that happens.
Last question is, have you ever felt that your ideas are not being given importance?
No.
Or do you have any more questions?
No, that's all.
So whether apart from these things, we did actually in your guidance, like we gonna end up our internship here in October, and